Hello, everyone. Welcome to my biography on another of the founding fathers of the United States of America. I've done George Washington, so why not cover another founding father? In this video, I will give a biography on the life of a man of some good and some evil, who was the President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. Let's kick this off. On this day, April 13th, 278 years ago, in 1743, at the no longer standing Shadwell Plantation in the peaceful town of Charlottesville, Virginia, came the birth of Thomas Jefferson, who was born to Peter Jefferson, who I couldn't find a photo of, and was an influential tobacco farmer and the first person to make a map of the province of Virginia, and Jane Randolph Jefferson, pardon the image quality, who was a devoted member of the Anglican Church and was a descendant of the Rudolph clan in Scotland. In the years after his birth, roughly to the age of 7, came some pastimes Jefferson enjoyed, such as running through the Virginia woods, playing the violin, and learning to be a stingy white person early on. By the age of 13, Jefferson was studying 3 languages, one useful one, English, and 2 extremely useful ones, Latin and Greek. After, Jefferson enrolled at William and Mary, a presently prestigious and cheap university. Here, he read, not studied, law. Over the next few years or so, Jefferson would learn a lot about law, becoming a lawyer, in fact, one of the best in the nation. In 1763, Jefferson was elected to the Virginia House of Burgesses, which was basically its territorial legislature. Then, at age 36 in 1770, Jefferson began construction on his iconic house in Charlottesville, Virginia, Monticello, meaning Little Mountain in Italian. Monticello would be finished in 1772, 2 years later. In about 1771, during the zenith of his legal career, Jefferson met a widow named Martha Skelton, who was one of the top 5 richest women in all of Virginia. The two married on January 1st, 1773, and would proceed to move into the pretty Monticello. Here, in between the next few years, would come the births of Thomas Jefferson and Martha Jefferson's 6 children, of which only 2 made it to adulthood. On July 4th, 1776, Thomas Jefferson signed the document he wrote 6 times, the Declaration of Independence, including its famous lines. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, solidifying his role in fighting for the independence of the United States of America. Over the next 7 years in the American Revolution, Jefferson likely didn't see that much combat, if any, himself, but he did hold some important jobs, like being the governor of Virginia from 1779 to 1781. Shortly after Jefferson's term as governor of Virginia ended in 1781, tragedy struck. On September 6, 1782, Thomas Jefferson's beloved wife, Martha Jefferson, died at Monticello, likely in childbirth, after having her 10th child. This shook Jefferson to his core, yet he would still retain his political career. From 1790 to 1793, Jefferson was the first Secretary of State under the legendary George Washington. In 1797, Jefferson's close friend, the recently elected 2nd President of the U.S., John Adams, gave him the honor as being the 2nd Vice President of the U.S. 4 years later, in 1801, Jefferson concluded his bid as Vice President and was about to aim for the highest position in the land. After John Adams became unpopular with the public, Jefferson, who was still trying to be friends with him, backstabbed him by swapping parties and defeating him in the 1800 election. After winning and becoming the 3rd president of the U.S., on March 4th, 1801, at the U.S. Capitol, Jefferson gave his inaugural address. Jefferson would win a 2nd term as president in 1804 and serve until 1809. During his presidency, Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark on their legendary expedition, which he intended on them being nice, but, and Jefferson bought the Louisiana Territory from egomaniac Napoleon Bonaparte. After finishing his presidency, Jefferson returned to the peace and serenity of his home, Monticello, and this is where controversy emerged. And now, I will cover the most hated thing about Thomas Jefferson, and the elephant in the room, Jefferson's slaves. Jefferson owned about 600 slaves in his lifetime, and always had at least 100 at Monticello at any given time. But there's more to his whole slavery thing than just this. During his time before, during, and after his presidency, while being a widower and having no wife, Jefferson engaged in an affair with a slave, who was 27 years younger than him. That slave was a woman named Sally Hemings. Jefferson allegedly engaged in regular naughty no-clothes times with Sally, which led to her giving birth to 5 children. Jefferson will continue to deny this rumor that he had an affair for the rest of his life. But yeah, pretty gross, Thomas. Well, that was heavy. Anyways, following that, Jefferson reached his retirement years. During this time, he went full HGTV and decided to flip Monticello. He would spend his time doing things like working in the fields, organizing rooms, hosting guests. Just kidding, he made his slaves do everything. Jefferson's pride and happiness became Monticello, as he was pretty lonely. His wife died, he had only 2 legit children, and he had 5 children from an affair that he denied existed. Jefferson would also hear about the War of 1812 and root for the 5th president, James Madison, who he was glad he didn't have to deal with that war because he wasn't president, because the British were sour about the American Revolution and stuff. And so, out of any day of the year, Jefferson died on the National Day, July 4th in 1826, from a mix of pneumonia, kidney issues, and explosive diarrhea. After Jefferson was buried at his house, Monticello. Even more insane than his death is the fact that Jefferson died on the exact same day as John Adams, within 5 hours. John Adams' last words were even, "Thomas Jefferson survives," as he didn't know that 5 hours earlier, Jefferson died. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Nonetheless, after a wild life, Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd president of the United States, remains an influential figure who has shaped American history for centuries after his death. And with that, that was my biography on the life of the 3rd president of the USA, Thomas Jefferson. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, Jefferson did many great and many not so noble things, but overall, he remains a good figure, as most would say. My next video will be not on a person, place, city, state, or country, but a thing that does and doesn't exist. Confused? Well, let me just say, my next video will be on a history of the Titanic. It will come out in 2 days on April 15th, and I will be playing a cover of My Heart Will Go On because why not? Thanks for watching, subscribe and like if you want. Thanks for watching.